This is my review of the May 3rd, 2016 edition of Impact Wrestling on Pop TV. Before I start this review, I must say this was a pretty awesome episode of Impact Wrestling. The only problem I had with this episode was that the X Division title match between Mandrews and Trevor Lee did not air on the televised edition of this Impact. This Impact was taped weeks ago. I remember reading the spoilers like last week, and I reread the spoilers earlier today to see what I'd be tuning into, and I saw this match advertised. So I'm kind of disappointed that I saw this match advertised, but the match didn't air on television. But anyway, this was an awesome episode of Impact. The show started off with Jeff Hardy, with the show started off with the Miracle Mike Bennett in the ring, bragging about him beating EC3, how he's done what Kurt Angle, Sting, and every wrestler that came before him failed to do, and that was pin pin EC3 and end his undefeated streak. And he was just going on proclaiming himself God. And Jeff Hardy came out, and him and Mike Bennett exchanged words. I keep forgetting what Jeff Hardy was saying. Wasn't paying attention. Really wasn't paying attention what Jeff Hardy was saying. But this was an awesome promo to start the show. The promo ended with Jeff Hardy challenging Mike Bennett to a match. Mike Bennett said he has to go talk to Dixie Carter, and he was about to leave the ring, but Jeff Hardy attacked him. And an impromptu match began right here, and the match went on as planned. Until Bobby Lashley came out of nowhere and speared Jeff Hardy. Then he speared Mike Bennett after Mike Bennett congratulated him and kept touching him. Then Bobby Lashley says he's gonna keep attacking. He's gonna attack every member on the roster until he gets what he wants, and that's the TNA heavyweight title shot from Drew Galloway, whom Bobby Lashley attacked earlier in the show inside an MMA gym. Had a huge brawl with Drew Galloway at the beginning of the show. I forgot to mention that before the show even aired. And Dixie Carter came out. And told Bobby Lashley that he expects that to Dixie Carter came out and told Bobby Lashley he has to earn title shots around here. Then she made a three-way between Bobby Lashley, the Miracle Mike Bennett, and Jeff Hardy for later on tonight. Um of course, and then of course next, I think this was the next segment. The K they came out. They came after. Oh yeah, then there was a backstage segment with the K. There was a backstage segment with the K with Rosemary, I think, putting face paint on both Crazy Steve and Abyss, and spitting some weird mist in both of their faces as some kind of pre-fight or pre-show ritual. Then Decay came out. And Decay they came out to cut a promo. Abyss and Crazy Steve talked about how Rosemary woke them up and gave them new direction, something like that. And they bragged about defeating Beer Money. James Storm came out alone. And he came in the ring. He came out alone, and he challenged him to a fight, and then an impromptu match began between James Storm and Abyss. James Storm and Abyss and James Storm and Abyss and Abyss defeated James Storm after Crazy Steve tried to interfere, and Storm spit the beer bottle in his face and gave him a spit the beer in his face, gave him a super kick off the apron. Then Abyss spit some mist in James Storm's face and finished him off with the Black Hole Slam. Black Hole Slam. The next segment had Maria calling out Jade, and Maria demanded that Jade lay down for her and give her the TNA Knockouts champion. Also reminds her that Maria reminds Jade that it's because of her that she has the Knockouts championship. Jade cuts an awesome promo saying she doesn't lay down for she doesn't lay down for any woman, man, or you know what, and then Sienna, who is the Allison Kay woman I mentioned in my salute and praise of Impact Wrestling, she made her debut and just manhandled Jade, and then of course the next match of the night was one of the matches I was looking forward to, and that was after a short promo from Bram, Bram cuts a promo saying he's not gonna be a follower. He's always done he's always does what he pleases, and he's gonna do what he wants. Like I said, then next was the TNA King of the Mountain Championship match between defending champion Bram, Eli Drake, Andrew Everett, Jesse Goddard, and Jesse Goddard and the Wolves, not Robbie E, the Wolves, and this was an awesome match. This was an awesome match. The highlight of the match was when Eli Drake was getting the title. Bram went aerial and drop kicked the ladder, causing Eli Drake to fall over, and then after the match, when Bram Bram retained his title, after the match, Eli Drake tried to briefly cash in his he attacked Bram after the match and tried to briefly cash in his belt, but Bram quickly recovered and Eli Drake retreated. So it was like we're gonna see a feud between Bram and Eli Drake now. Then of course you had the main event, which was Bobby Lashley versus Jeff Hardy, with Jeff Hardy and Mike Bennett with Galloway as the special guest referee. EC3 came out. And he cut a promo. On Bennett and talked about how he's not going to make excuses like the previous people who lost. Who lost to him. And he's also not going to shake his hand because that will be a sign of weakness. And he says if EC3 if Bennett is God, then he is his devil. And then he left, and then he had a stare down with Bobby Lashley, who made his return to the ring. The highlight of match was Decay interfering and Abyss choke slamming Jeff Hardy on the steel steps, and Bobby Lashley spearing Jeff Hardy when Jeff Hardy was getting up, spearing Jeff Hardy off the steps and knocking him into the turnbuckle. Then inside the ring, Bobby Lashley pinned Jeff Hardy after another spear. And after the match, Bobby Lashley tried to force Galloway to raise his hand. Galloway refused, even telling him to shove it. But then Galloway finally did it. He raised his hand, and then Lashley tried to clothesline him, and a huge brawl broke out between Lashley and Galloway to end the show. Like I said, this was an awesome edition of Impact, and I'm just disappointed that the X Division match didn't air. I hope that airs like next week or on a future edition of Impact Wrestling. Like I said, but this was an awesome episode of Impact Impact Wrestling. All right, I'm done.